Hello everyone, it's Skill here from the Grim Reapers. Today's video is an answer to a question that was asked by one of the viewers of my last video of me flying the Hornet in the DOF Reality P6. The question was, in a tail dragger, does the system lean back whilst taxiing and move upright when the wings start providing lift on takeoff? Well, today I'm going to do my first ever flight in the Spitfire in the DOF Reality P6 to find out. Today's mission will be a simple taxi to the runway, take off, intercept a couple of enemy bombers before attempting a landing. As I said, this will be my first flight in the Spitfire in the P6 motion rig, so we shall see how that plan goes. Straight away, I can tell you, as soon as I started the mission in the Spit, on the ground, the seat tilted back, simulating the tail dragger stance of the Spitfire. As you can see here, it took me a bit of time to get used to the movement of the P6 whilst taxiing, especially in the Spitfire, where you need to use the differential braking to turn on the ground, with the P6 using the pitch and surge axis to simulate the braking effect. Taxiing is awesome though, because I can feel all the bumps and shudders as I make my way to the runway for takeoff. The takeoff run feels fantastic. I got pushed back into the seat on acceleration, and as the tail comes up I can feel myself levelling off from the leaned back position. Not only that, I can feel the yaw of the aircraft due to the torque and apply the pedals as required. As with the Hornet, in flight I can feel the acceleration and deceleration of the Spitfire, but the pitch and roll feel far more sensitive, meaning it took me a little more time and effort to get used to it. Don't get me wrong, it felt great, and I am a bit ham-fisted, but yeah, it's very sensitive. Anyone who flies warbirds will know that climbing through the clouds can be a bit of a tense few minutes. Try to keep an eye on your instruments to make sure you stay right side up. I found that the P6 helps immensely with this. As well as watching your artificial horizon, you can feel the plane pitch and roll and make corrections as necessary to keep your climb. As always, I'm flying in VR using the awesome Pimax Crystal Super. And for added feedback, I'm also using the Next Level Racing HF8 Pro haptic feedback seat and the rumble function on the Windwing throttle grips and stick grip. As I said, the pitch and roll movements are very sensitive. It took a lot of getting used to with those movements to try and line up for the shots on the bombers. Now for the landing. Easy, eh? Just line up with the grass strip, ease it down for a nice 3-pointer. A little bit of a bounce, but otherwise not too bad, and it felt pretty smooth in the P6 too. Well, all in all, for my first time flying the Spitfire in the DOF Reality P6, I think it felt pretty amazing. I might have to do a bit of tinkering with the motion profiles, but nonetheless, I loved it. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll catch you later.